pleasure to have you stopping by. And, I mean, first of all, your reaction to the scene here today with Padres fans is incredible.
Yeah, this is pretty insane. Pretty insane.
It's nuts. It's nuts. You've been to FanFest. Have you been to a FanFest before?
Zero times.
Zero times.
There really hasn't been one
there really hasn't been
the pandemic and everything since Jake's been here. So they weren't like this before this.
No, they were not.
It was not me. It was definitely Manny and Toddy.
It's crazy. So new faces in the clubhouse again. Xander Bogaerts, now you've got a chance to hang out with him a little bit. Obviously, we all familiar with his game. What's he like? What's he like as a person, a player, and all that?
Yeah, obviously, game speaks for itself. Awesome player. Really solidified himself in Boston. Just all-star shortstop. Just absolutely rakes. But to have him in the clubhouse, not just a great player, but a great human, and I think he's going to fit our group really well.
So for you, again, the last season was so magical. We were watching it as a family last week, some of the highlights, and it was just incredible. It was just an incredible thing to cover, to watch every night as a fan, too. How'd you feel at the end of the year? Long year. Like, you played a ton of games. You played a ton of innings. What did you learn kind of about yourself, your body, and what you need to do? And have you changed anything for this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, is the second full season, obviously the shortened season in 20, but being able to go as far as we did. You kind of get that second win when you get to the playoffs, but, every night's a grind, and it's a mental battle more than the physical. And when you're playing games that are as strenuous and as cool as they were for us, it takes a toll, but I think you just you reset and recoup and get ready for next year.
The addition of Xander Bogaerts obviously is going to create a shuffle. And so far everyone has said, pretty much the right thing. I just want to do what I can do to help the team win ball games. But obviously there is some adjustments, some changes, some stress to all of that. How have you kind of managed that yourself this offseason?
Yeah, I think I've gone into every season with these guys not knowing where I'm going to play. In 20, I was a pitcher for a little bit, and
we talked about AJ trying to make everybody into pitchers. It's like,
do you know he tried to make Nelson Cruz into a pitcher years ago?
Exactly. There you go.
Mad scientist.
So we got a great group and a ton of versatile players. So I think, if anything, it's going to help us more than hurt us.
So have you thought a lot about? You're going to bring now a first baseman's glove because you had it before, but now you're going to be probably penciled in the lineup. I asked you last year when they signed Juan Soto. I'm like, all right, man, Juan Soto's in the lineup now. You probably have to slide down a little bit. You're like, I don't care. I used to hit ninth. I couldn't care less. You care where you play as long as you're out there.
Yeah, as long as I can help the team. I wasn't even playing when I first got on the team to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, anywhere in this lineup, I think.
Was that your? We were talking about it in the air. Was that your first position with the Pods? Was first base? Haas got hurt.
Yeah, I came in as a pinch runner for Haas against the Diamondbacks. Played, I think, an inning and a half or two at first, and then I had to hit the first game. Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, now you're now kind of going to be the first baseman for the San Diego Padres, but it's going to be a little bit different. No shift. They probably want the athletic infield that they have right now, and it's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed to find a more athletic infield than what we have right now.
Yeah, I think I don't know where guys are playing specifically. Obviously, I think once we start playing games in spring, and obviously a lot of guys are going to be gone, but I think we'll have a better idea of where everybody's going to be at. And obviously, like we've said earlier, guys can move around and spell some guys for some off days, but the versatility we have is incredible.
Jake Cronenworth is with us here at Padres Fanfest, and not just what position they're going to play at, but I'm sure Bob Melvin and the coaches are going to go through this while you're at spring training, but in terms of the positioning now with no shift, I can certainly see a scenario where a first baseman is going to be expected to cover a lot more ground than maybe Cecil Fielder was asked to cover back in the day. It's going to be a little bit different.
Cecil could move a little bit. Cecil could move a little. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's it's hard. We've had the shift for so long, and the ability to kind of defend that side of the field, and the other just not as much as against lefties. But I think with our infield and the athleticism there, I think it's going to be hard to find a more athletic infield than we have.
No doubt. There's no doubt. Talking to Jake Cronenworth here on Ben and Woods this morning. How's your offseason been? What have you done for fun? And what have you – I don't know. At the end of the year, you look back and go, for me, I'm like, you could be better at this, and this. Try to work on this. Mostly it's mental. So for you, What did you do for fun, and what have you done for work?
Yeah, we'll start with the work first. Took some time off and just relaxed, but got back into it. And obviously, you want to get better at everything, but there are certain things that you need to kind of refine. And like we've talked about, no shift this year. Be a little more agile and get out there and be a better defender. And you can always do things like that just to kind of propel yourself and be in a better position once the season starts. Working on the swing, working on the speed. Very similar to what I've done in previous off seasons. And then fun. No vacations. I'm a huge foodie, so a ton of restaurants and just. You
haven't gotten in the pool yet to learn how to hold your breath for 7 minutes? Is that not something that you see any value in?
What about golf? Have you taken up golf?
No, he plays.
I've been playing golf.
You're playing some golf. It's good with all sticks.
But it's hard to play
baseball
golf.
bats.
It's hard to play golf when it's snowing. So.
Yeah, Michigan is not the greatest place to play golf in December and January. But now that you're back out here and you're going out to Arizona, there might be a chance to break out the clubs once or twice.
A few days.
For sure. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Shoot a couple hundred.
We just played with Matt Strom. Me and Paul whipped his ass, so that was fun. Be happy to take you on in spring training, too. So one thing I'm better than him at, maybe, but I still doubt it. No, man, obviously everyone's excited about the season. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. You feel more pressure this year? It kind of be hard not to, but as far as we went last year, as far as you guys went, as well as you played, as good a teams as you beat, you know that it's in you now, and the guys know it's in them too, and you've added better pieces and excellent players. But is the pressure on? Do you feel any of that yet, or is it just one day at a time?
I think the thing we realize is, obviously we had some ups and downs last year. We really settled in as a team and a group towards September and leading into the postseason. I don't think we really realized how good we were with the team that we had, and to go as far as we did with what we had, and then to add the pieces that we have, I think it, and then coming here today and yesterday in the community, seeing everybody, I think it just, it relaxes us knowing that all these people are behind us and having the support we have.
Do you feel like winning the division is an important goal, or, you guys didn't win the division last year, and you went to the NLCS, so it's obviously not required, but at the same time, you don't have to go to New York for a best-of-3 series to start the playoffs and you can get a bye. That's a good thing. How much of a focus will that be trying to probably win the division this year and see if you can make it a little bit easier in October?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is all the teams in our division are really good. It's a tough division, really good pitching. I think the biggest thing for our group is obviously it's nice to win the division, get the time off, get the break. But I think just having a consistent season and not having as big of lulls, ups and downs we've had in the past 2 seasons, and just staying on the right trajectory so that when we do get to the playoffs, we're rolling, and no matter what that situation is.
Those dips make for some good radio, though. I'll tell you that, because you do start to get a little bit panicked and. We doing this again, everybody? And they start to get a little bit panicked. But it's good radio.
I like that Jake's higher on the Rockies than his own owner. He just said every team in the division's good. Their owner said, maybe we can play 500, and I think the Padres have a couple of holes.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's actual,
You're not one of the holes, are you, Jake? I don't think so.
That's an actual quote.
Well, I know you got a bunch of fans that have come out to see you, and you're spending some time out here. You did that in the community yesterday, which is really cool. But, Jake, thank you so much for stopping by this table and chatting with us for a few minutes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always great joining you guys.
Round of applause for Jake Cronenworth, everybody.